Okay, so this morning I'm off to Franschhoek and going to attend a breakfast at which a popular Christian minister is speaking, and in order to get there through the traffic in Stellenbosch at this time of the morning is crazy, so I've got to get from Somerset West through Stellenbosch to Franschhoek. So over the Helswigte Pass, I'm taking my old BMW F650. It's a beautiful bike, goes like a bomb, and yeah, so we should be there soon. Okay, so today I am in Franschhoek, which is just on the other side of Stellenbosch. It's a very, very beautiful wine growing area here in the Western Cape. And I've come to a retreat center called Harmonie. That is an Afrikaans or a Dutch phrase meaning in harmony. And it's run by some friends of mine. And I'm here today with a group of pastors and church leaders and Christian business leaders to spend a day sort of in retreat, one can say. And so I'm looking forward to a day out here in beautiful Franschhoek. So I'll check in with you a little later. As you can see, I came through today on my motorbike. It's a most beautiful, beautiful drive out here through Helswigte all the way through to Franschhoek. Okay, we'll catch up a bit later. Okay, so today we're at In Harmonie, and I'm standing here with Jacques Beme. Hi, Jacques.
Hi, Dion. Hi, guys.
So Jacques is a minister at a church called Mosaic in Johannesburg. I have had the privilege of visiting with Jacques there a number of times and preaching at the church. And Jacques, tell us a little bit about what you do at Mosaic.
So I lead the School of Prayer at Mosaic, and it's our privilege to help people develop in their prayer life, to deepen in it, and to learn to build disciplines into your life that helps you to create space to become aware of what God is doing in our lives and to grow deeper in our relationship with God.
Now, Jacques, your church is one of the really remarkable churches because you guys take spirituality very seriously. I know that you have a retreat house, you have a Klipkerk, a stone chapel where you have services of silence. I've certainly, it's one of the only sort of mega churches that I've been in that has liturgy and silence in their services. I wonder if you can tell us a little bit about the importance of spirituality and spiritual disciplines in the Christian life.
Yeah, so I believe that spirituality is that which gives us life. And so for me, spirituality is to get into contact with God in a deep, deep way. And to also become in contact with what's happening in my own inner journey. And so in my inner life. So much of what we do fill our life with distractions. So for me, spirituality is something about those spiritual disciplines that help me connect deeper with God, deeper with myself, and in that way, it also has a huge influence then on how I live in this world. So if I grow in the realization and the knowledge that I'm God's beloved as a gift, it really changes how I grow in my relationship with God, and then also how I see my place in this world.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what I'm hearing from you, Jacques, is that there's a real connection between our relationship with God and our relationship with God's creation in the world. I wonder if you can make one or two suggestions or give one or two ideas about the kind of spiritual disciplines that we have that honor both God and God's world around us.
Yeah. So what I have found most helpful for me is to find ways of growing in prayer that develops a friendship with God, as opposed to things that I feel I have to do. So some of the spiritual disciplines that I find helpful is to journal, and to journal means for me just to almost to write a letter to God, and not so much telling Him what happened in my life, but more becoming aware of what's happening in my thoughts and in my emotions, and to offer that as prayer to God. So, and then to also just have time of silence and solitude, even where there's not words needed. So it's like when you have a good friend or with your wife, where you are just together and something gets communicated, but without words. And I think so when we grow into that, we also grow in our love for other people, the love for our world, and then our being, then who we are, has an influence on how we live in this world.
Beautiful. Jacques, I'm going to ask you in just a minute to suggest one or two things that people can read, but certainly what you're saying now reminds me very much of the work of Eugene Peterson. He's written a couple of books, Under the Unpredictable Plant, Working the Angles, and I found some of that work very, very interesting and helpful to shape my understanding, in particular the work of John van der Laar, who's a South African theologian. He wrote a wonderful book called The Hour That Changes Everything, that makes that connection between personal holiness and social holiness, as John Wesley would have put it, between your personal relationship with God and your relationship with God in the world. Can you suggest one or two things that some of the viewers might be able to read, or maybe there's something that they can watch on the internet that will help them to grow in their spirituality and their understanding of the relationship between spiritual growth and perhaps even social justice?
So I found the work also of Trevor Hudson very helpful. He recently wrote a book on friendship with God, which I felt really helps to grow in that imagination that God really desires a friendship with God. I think Dallas Willard's books is helpful. I'm in a group that every Tuesday we are reading the student edition of Dallas Willard's Renovation of the Heart, and that helps just to suss out some of the ideas. A website that I would recommend is one called Work of the People, that has short interviews with some of the best thinkers in our world. But then I would really suggest that whenever you read something or you watch something on a channel, to go and think about how that influences you, because I feel that we are not changed by information alone. We are transformed by how we integrate that into our own life. So whatever you learn, read, I think we can grow if we could somehow then take that into our prayer life as well, and to start talking to God. So even if you disagree with an author, to take that into your prayer life and grow in such a way.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Jacques, I'm glad you said that we're not changed by information alone, because that's the sort of title of these vlogs. It's not a lecture, it's just a thought. And we're constantly inviting people into intentional living, to deep theological reflection, to connection with God for the sake of God's creation and the world. Jacques, if people want to connect with you, how can they do that? I'm sure you're on Twitter or Instagram. How can people find you on the internet?
So I've also have a blog called jacquesbeme.com, same hashtag or handle for Twitter. I'd love to connect with you guys.
Fantastic. Okay, so I'll put those links in the show notes. Jacques, thanks so much for your time today and for connecting with us. And folks, if you've enjoyed watching the vlog, by all means, engage. Leave us a comment in the comment section below. If you have questions or if you agree or disagree about something, we'd love to hear from you. This is a hospitable space of engagement and conversation. And subscribe to the blog if you find it useful. Share it with others. And thanks very much for watching today. Jacques, thanks for being with us.
Right, thanks for having me.
Okay, so that was a really wonderful day, quite inspiring and challenging, and a lot of great ideas there. So time to saddle up the BMW, and I have to get to the varsity. I have some meetings and preparation for classes, and that chapter I said I had to finish is not yet finished yet, so that'll be part of the work of today. And then this evening I'm going to a talk by the public prosecutor, one of the Section 9 institutions in South Africa. Advocate Thuli Madonsela is speaking in Somerset West, so I'm attending that talk. So let's get ready and get out of here.